Hi, it's Corey and Corley coming to you from Angel's Haven. I want to talk to you today about something that's been on my mind a little bit, which is creature comforts. Now, I don't know if you can see this, but this is a wonderful bag of Starbucks coffee, which my friend Penny Themey gave me for Christmas. I just got it because we had the gathering of the usual suspects this past weekend when I was in Kansas City. This is a coffee grinder. When I first moved here, which was in December, I did not have my coffee grinder. Now I thought about the fact that I could buy a new coffee grinder. Somebody here in the park offered to loan me a coffee grinder. But I knew I had a really good coffee grinder in Kansas City. So this weekend when I was there, I made a box full of things that I had forgotten and wanted to bring. I said a box, but what I really meant was a suitcase. So, in the immortal words of my friend Kimberly Kellogg, now that I've done 2 big moves, I'm moving 2 suitcases at a time by Southwest Airlines. They allow you 2 suitcases free, and this time when I came back, I brought 2 suitcases full of personal belongings that had not made it here. I knew, for example, that I didn't have my work clothes. I didn't really understand why. I also knew that the fairly limited space that I have here for clothing was not full. So I discovered that there was an entire suitcase full of work clothing at my friend's house in Kansas City. So the second suitcase that I brought was that suitcase. The first suitcase being my coffee grinder, my rice cooker that my son gave me for Christmas last year, my little tiny food processor that I bought for $5 at a thrift store maybe 15 years ago and cannot live without, my coffee grinder, and of course the coffee that Penny gave me. It's really important when you go tiny to think about whether you want to start completely new or have things around you that you used in your life before you went tiny. I decided that I wanted to have things around me that I used in my prior life. For example, my favorite tea kettle. The reason I like this tea kettle, besides the fact that it's pretty, is that it has a wide opening which I can use if I want to make soup in it. I wouldn't cook the soup in it, but I would warm soup up in this, and then I could pour it into a nice vessel for having soup. It's my favorite, and so I brought it with me. I'm going to fill this kettle full of water. Now, almost everything here in the tiny house is new, obviously, in terms of the build. Everything is new. I did get some new things. Some things that didn't make it here, I decided it was less expensive to replace than to buy new. I mean, less expensive to buy new than to ship. And so those things, obviously, I replaced. For example, I brought the shower curtain that I had in Kansas City because it was a really expensive one. But I bought a drain basket here because I just had your standard average drain basket in Kansas City, and there was no point in taking up space to move it or in buying a new one, paying to ship it. I had to make some decisions about what would not come and what would come, and I brought everything I could bring. And then I had to decide at that point, did I want to ship things or buy new? And the cutoff that I had was, is it sentimental? If it's sentimental, then obviously I can't replace it. Is it, that it costs more to buy than it might to ship it? If so, if it didn't make it here, I am shipping it. Or is it something cheap and easily replaced? In which case, if it didn't make it here on one of the two big moves, I replaced it. So, I'm going to make coffee. I don't want to bore you with the sound of grinding beans. I just wanted to make a little mention of the fact that when you're moving in any situation, you have to make choices. But if you're going tiny, those choices have to be very thoughtful. And these are the criteria that worked for me. You need to think about what criteria works for you. So thanks for this moment together, sharing something that I learned in my tiny life.